Yeah. Hey, buddy. Thanks for joining us for our August edition of PHP Tokyo Meetup today. My name is Ryuta Hamasaki. I'm a software engineer at Laravel team, and my Twitter handle is abusalmon. And at Laravel, I'm working on the observability tool specifically designed for Laravel, which is called Laravel Nightwatch. Um, I'm also part of the PHP Tokyo meetup organizer team. And last month, I had a chance to attend Laracon in US Denver. Um, it was an amazing conference. The venue was huge and very nice, and this was the biggest Laracon ever, with over 1,200 people attended from all over the world, um, with very nice speakers and people. Um, and I had a chance to talk to many new and old friends here, as you can see. It was great experience. So I definitely recommend you to attend this if you have a time. And at Laracon US, the Laravel team announced a bunch of cool new features from Laravel and open source side. Um, Laravel Boost, Laravel Wayfinder, and Pest V4. Um, I'm excited about all of them, but I don't have time to cover all of them today. So my talk today will be covering Laravel Boost. And what is Laravel Boost? Laravel Boost is a MCP server over 15 tools designed to streamline AI-assisted coding workflow for Laravel applications. And it's a composer package you install into your Laravel application, and it makes pairing with AI agents much higher quality and guiding the AI to work better and do much better. Um, it does that with three core features. The first feature is Laravel-specific MCP servers. So Laravel-specific MCP servers that give you AI agent more than 15 tools so that it can do more in your day-to-day work. And such as it can query your database in your local application, or reading logs, or even reading the browser logs, and or running some commands via Tinker. And Boost automatically registers and configures your IDEs with the MCP servers, so you don't have to configure it by yourself manually. And the second feature is version-specific documentation. So we have ingested all of the Laravel ecosystem documentation, chunked it, and vectorized it, and made it available through the API. So your AI agent can get the exact documentation for the exact package for the exact version that your project is using. So that the AI agent can generate much more accurate code in your project. And lastly, Laravel maintained AI guidelines. So when you install Boost in your application, it will create your cursor rules or cloud.md files, which is created by the Laravel team. So the Laravel team has created these guidelines for all the common packages, such as, of course, Laravel framework itself, Pest, Inertia, Livewire, Tailwind, and PHP itself. And these guidelines are version specific. So if you're using Inertia version 2, you'll get Inertia v2 documentation and guidelines. So let's see it in action. So I have a demo application here. So I'm gonna stop using this. Okay, let me make it bigger. Okay, so Not this one. So this is my little side project where you can basically it's an AI powered language learning app I created on my own time, and it's a Laravel application with inertia for the front end. So sorry, my hand is not working. Maybe let me show you the application first. Okay, so it's just some language learning app. So I'm gonna install Boost into this Laravel application. What you need to do is composer require Laravel Boost dash dash dev. So now the Boost has been installed, and then what I'm gonna do is to PHP Artisan. By the way, is it big enough? Should I make it bigger? Okay. I hope you can read it. PHP Artisan Boost install, but because my application is running in Docker via Laravel Sail, I'm gonna replace PHP with Sail. And then Boost will ask you a few questions. Which code editors do you use to work on Vocabulary? So Vocabulary is the name of my application. So in this demo, I'm gonna use Cursor. You can also choose Cloud Code, PHP Storm, VS Code. And then which agents need AI guidelines for Vocabulary? Same Cursor. And now it added 15 AI guidelines to my application, like Boost, Inertia Laravel, Inertia React V2, Laravel 11, Pest V4, stuff like that. So as you can see, all these guidelines are version specific. So when you install Boost, Boost will scan your entire application and detect which version of the packages your application is using. So now let's open the application in the code base. So here, Boost added this Laravel Boost.mdc cursor rules. So it has Laravel Boost guidelines and all these information about the packages and versions that your application is using, and some conventions, and there are some Boost rules, like because Boost has 15 MCP tools, it's telling your AI agent that, like, for example, you should use the Tinker tool when you need to execute PHP to debug code or query eloquent models directly. So it's basically telling your AI agent to like which MCP tools it should use. And there's so many other like version-specific guidelines. For example, Inertia V2, yeah, well, Laravel 11, stuff like that. It also added the MCP server for your editor. So you can enable it from here. Because my app is running in Docker through Laravel Sail, I just need to replace this PHP with vendor bean Sail. Hopefully, in the future, Laravel Boost will do this automatically. But for now, I need to do it manually, and then I'm gonna enable Boost. So now 16 tools enabled. For example, last error, database schema, like reading the database schema from your local application, reading the browser logs, um, executing database queries, stuff like that. So now we're ready to use it. Okay. So let's do something here. So now I'm gonna ask something in this application. So here I can translate whatever sentence from Japanese to English. So what should I translate? So for example, okay. 今週の金曜日飲みに行きませんか? And you can specify the tone of voice. I'm gonna make it like casual and okay. So wanna grab a drink this Friday? Yes, seems working. And now what I'm gonna do is to ask my AI agent what's the last sentence? Ryuta, I am the user. Ryuta, translate it. And it's so scary to do like live coding with AI. Okay, so now it's reading, it's calling some tools the Boost MCP provides, such as it's reading application, the information about your application, like PHP version, Laravel version, database engine, and bunch of packages. And then it scanned the database schema of this application and calling, okay. Okay, now it found Ryuta Hamasaki in the database. It actually executed those database queries in my local environment. Because of a bunch of like database table relationships, it might take some time, but perfect. So I found the last sentence that Ryuta translated. 今週の金曜日飲みに行きませんか? Wanna grab drink? So it's perfectly identified the last sentence I translated in this application by executing database query against the local environment. Without this MCP server, I don't think it's gonna work. So next, okay, let me log out first. Okay, so in this login screen, again, this is built with Inertia JS. So where is this login screen is rendered by this login component, like React component. And if you're not familiar with Inertia, it provides this use form hook to interact with forms in your page. But recently, just 2 weeks ago, Laravel team released a form component, the official form component for Inertia. So you don't have to use this form, use form hook with bunch of boilerplate code. So now we can replace it with the form component. So let me ask the AI to make it happen. So use the form component instead of use form hook in the login component. Without specifying the login component, it's going to make the change across all the components, and which takes a lot of time. So I just specify which component I want to make the change. And let's see. And as you can see, the AI understands that the form component is an inertia V2 feature that provides a more modern approach. And because this is mentioned in the AI guideline, and now it removed all the boilerplate code around the use form hook, and then and still need to make some changes. Yeah, so now it's using the form component, and you can specify the action method and things like that. And I think the login page, it's still working. Yes, it's still working, and I should be able to log in. Cool, so it's working. How many minutes do I have? Another 10 minutes. Okay, cool. Cool, so I'm gonna keep all. Right. So next, what I'm gonna do is, okay, as I mentioned earlier, PEST v4 was launched like 2 weeks ago. PEST is one of the most popular testing frameworks for PHP. It's basically a wrapper around the PHP unit with more expressive syntax. And with PEST v4, you can use browser testing baked into your PEST testing. So you don't have to set up Playwright or Cypress and stuff like that. So you can just write browser testing in your PHP and Laravel test file. So let's make it happen in this application. Okay, so now I'm gonna ask cursor add browser tests, maybe test v4 browser tests to the login for the login page. Because this feature was just released 2 weeks ago without the context and without the MCP server, I don't think it's going to make it. So now it's reading the routes. So now it found the login route from your application. And now it's adding the login page test. It takes some time. Okay. So now it's created the login page test, and now it ran the test and failed. What? Okay, now it's calling it's searching the doc with this query like PHP for browser testing and failed to search documentation. Um, yeah, it still happens because it's AI and still not perfect. Um, cool. So Laravel Boost is currently public beta and it's receiving a lot of um, fixes and bunch of changes. I don't think it's doing the right thing. It's going wrong direction because it's adding playwright and stuff like that. Um, so, okay, I think this failed this time, unfortunately. Um, just make sure that I have the right composer packages. Okay, so um, just give it one more time. It worked when I tested just before the talk. Um, okay. Okay, by the way, while we're waiting, Boost is powered by another Laravel's official package called MCP. So Laravel provides the MCP package that allows you to add MCP endpoints to your Laravel application. So imagine you can add routes in your Laravel application in the web.php routes/web.php file, but with the MCP package, you can add your MCP endpoints in routes/ai.php file, and as if you add a new routes to your application. So this boost is using the MCP package under the hood. Okay, so this time it successfully got the PHP for browser test documentation. Um, so hopefully this time it works. Okay, let me open this test, not test, login test. So it created a new file called login.test under the test/browser folder. So with PEST v4, what you can do is that you can visit the login route and you can assert that signing with Google and another bunch of text exists and with no JavaScript errors. And of course, you can use whatever Laravel's database factories to create test data. Um, so the browser testing is, well integrated into your Laravel tests. Okay, it's still doing something. Right. Okay, let me run the test myself to make sure it works. Sale test, filter, login test. It failed. Session error. Playwright is outdated. Okay, I think I just need to install. Hmm. Okay, never mind. Okay, so basically, now this thing read the um, PHP for documentation, um, but yeah, it couldn't make it happen with some playwright related errors. Um, so okay, okay, so okay, it failed. So let's see what the MCP package looks like. Um, okay, maybe the boost package. So in the Laravel boost package, you can see, uh, the actual AI rules that the Laravel team has created. And as you can see, all the